How's everybody doing today? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, I want to talk Terence Bud Crawford versus Keith one time Thurman, you guys. It's possibly could go down. There, you know. Terence Crawford's, trainer, would like to see Keith Thurman fight. You guys, if you guys been under a rock lately, you know Keith Thurman has been fighting, once every 2 to 3 years. He hasn't really had a significant fight since 2019 against Manny Pacquiao. Um, it's why I can't believe it's been that long, but it has been that long. And now he's trying to resurge. He's trying to come back in the game, and he's calling out, all of the top welterweights, which is Terence Crawford is one of the top welterweights. Um, and he's really trying to come back and, make a name for himself this go around. As we know, last time he did not really, make a name for himself as much as we would have thought. We thought he was going to beat Manny Pacquiao. Crypto Colors was heading, and we really thought that he was going to beat, Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao, but that did not happen, you guys. He did not beat him. He actually got beat, got knocked down by an aging and older veteran, Manny Pacquiao. And you guys all know Manny Pacquiao lost convincingly to Floyd Mayweather, you guys. And after that, Manny Pacquiao is still handing out, L's to the new generation. As crazy as it sounds, man, he's still handing out L's to the new generation. Smash that like button, you guys. As soon as you guys come in, this is Corey Lee Boxing, and we are definitely back with another banger. So definitely smash that like button. Mason in the chat, what's happening, man? We're talking Terence Bud Crawford, you guys. If you guys haven't heard, he just dethroned and beat Earl Spence Jr. That parade that Terence Crawford had was awesome. A lot of fan love. And a lot of fighters, nowadays, man, when they see fights like that are so big and that fans, you know, really clamor for it, like in the Earl Spence versus Terence Crawford, you get the love like Terence Crawford got when he came home to all of those screaming Omaha, Nebraska fans. Um, I mean, that was a welcoming home, man. That was well deserved. And I think he deserved it. I think he did enough in the sport to deserve a warm welcome. And I mean, he put it all on the line. He faced, a guy who had more belts than him. Okay. Earl Spence had more belts than him. And to be honest with you, Earl Spence had more to lose than Terence Crawford, to be honest. Some would say he was already making more money than Terence Crawford. He already had more belts than Terence Crawford. And Earl Spence left it all on the line, man. And you can't do nothing but respect that. He did a hell of a job. It just wasn't enough. Skills pay the bills. And let me tell you something. Terence Crawford is going to be paying, you know, paying these ass whoopings to these fighters, man, if they don't smarten up and they don't, just have one game plan. Earl Spence has to have multiple game plans going into a Terence Crawford fight because Terence Crawford is going to have multiple game plans going into his fight. Facts. He's not going to go in there, trying to just maul you and hunt you down. And, when that doesn't work, it's when that doesn't work, it's just like, what the hell are we gonna do now? Smash that like button, you guys. Charles D, what's happening? Let's go, man. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Tuesday going into Wednesday? It'll be Wednesday in 15 minutes where I'm from. Smash that like button, you guys. Who do you guys right now think has a better chance on winning? Okay. I really want to ask you guys this. Okay. Let me know in the comment section. Terence Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence in the rematch, okay, at 154, or Terence Crawford versus Keith One Time Thurman at 147 pounds. You guys have to let me know, and I'm curious to know, who do you guys truly and honestly think will win that? Like I said, it's a tough fight. No matter which way you look at it, Terence Bud Crawford has got to get in the gym, and he's got to work on his craft more than a lot of these other fighters, because he's at the top and he's at the pinnacle. So that means they're gonna throw nothing but top guys his way. And when you're fighting at the top level like that, man, you have to understand, man, that both guys at this type of level in this weight class at 147. You got Jerron Boots Ennis, you got Keith One Time Thurman, you got Terence Crawford, Earl Spence, Mario Barrios, the list goes on. The list goes on, at 147 pounds. You got Virgil Ortiz, you got Stanionis, there's a lot of fights that can be made at 147. I wouldn't mind seeing Deron Boots Ennis versus Stanionis. Since Stanionis couldn't get the Virgil Ortiz fight, why not put Stanionis in there with Jerron Boots Ennis as a title eliminator, or for the belt? Okay, for the belt. You know, if Terence Crawford is gonna move up to 147, have her interim belt through the IBF or something like that, and yeah, the very next fight, they would have to fight the winner of Virgil Ortiz versus Jerron Boots Ennis. You know, I think that's a hell of a fight. Smash that like button, you guys. Let's definitely get these likes up, man. Definitely get these likes up. Keith One Time Thurman, like I told you guys, has been very inactive. Um, I've always known Keith Thurman to be a, world champion, and to be, at the top pinnacle of the sport. But he's the former welterweight world champion. He held the WBA title from 2015 through 2019, and the WBC title from 2017 through 2018. And as of July, he is ranked fifth in the welterweight division by BoxRec, you guys. So BoxRec has him fifth. What do you guys have, Keith Thurman, and who do you guys think is going to be a harder fight? Earl Spence Jr. versus Terence Bud Crawford, two, or Keith Thurman versus Terence Bud Crawford? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I picked Terence Crawford to win the first fight, but I really, really want to see what I see out of, I don't, I want to see what I see out of Earl Spence, you know, in the build up, but I kind of want to see Keith Thurman versus Terence Crawford. I'm not gonna lie. It's a new face, a fresh face. Um, it's time to mix some things up. We seen Terence Crawford dominate Earl Earl Spence, and a lot of people blame it on the weight. They're saying that he wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. He didn't have enough you know, juice, he didn't have enough stamina, in the fight. And let's be honest, man, I just truly believe skills pay the bills. You can have all the excuses in the world, man, but and if you're trying to come forward, you're coming forward, coming forward, coming forward, coming forward. And all you can do is just, try to bully the shit out of Terence Crawford. Eventually, that's not going to work, buddy. That's not going to work. You're going to need a plan B. You're going to need a plan B for sure. So, Yeah, I'm back, you guys, and I want to see Terence Crawford, man. I kind of want to see Terence Crawford versus Keith Thurman a little bit more, you guys. I know you guys are probably like, Corey, you're full of it, what the hell? But the more I think about it, and the more I, dissect both fighters and both fights, I mean, what can Earl Spence really truly show us in the rematch that he hasn't already showed us in the first fight? You know, he got he got he got beat from pillar to post, and that's no exaggerating, and that's no knock on Earl Spence. He tried his damnedest to win the fight. He tried his hardest to win this fight. It wasn't enough. It really just wasn't enough, you guys. So Earl Spence is gonna have to, go to the drawing board and actually think like, man, I gotta change some things up, man. I got to change some things up. Whatever I was doing wasn't working, and I've got to change some things up. Does that mean uh does that mean Earl Spence needs to get a new trainer? And ditch Derek James. Listen, I'm not saying that, but if he did that, I mean, hey, that's on him. But I think Derek James is a good trainer. I just think that they got to come up with a way better game plan. Because all I'm hearing is Derek James saying he wants to rematch. If Spence wants to rematch, Spence saying he wants to rematch. Terrence Bud Crawford saying I'll give you the rematch. Shit. And at the end of the day, it's gonna be all on Earl Spence Jr. Will he take the rematch? You know, and if he does take the rematch, when will he take the rematch? Because I feel like the Terence Crawford versus Earl Spence rematch will not happen in 2023 at all. I'm almost 100% sure of that. The turnaround is too fast. It's a way too fast turnaround. And just to be honest with you guys, man, the turnaround is way too drastic. We've got to see, you know, we really got to see what Earl Spence is gonna look like, after this, man. I mean, because I didn't like what I seen in the post fight press conference. He was slurring his words. He literally just looked like he took a very, very tough fight, man, and a very, very tough beating. Um, he got beat down. Period. Can he recover from that? Hell yes. Will he recover from that? That's yet to be seen. That's yet to be seen. You know, it's it's one thing to get in there with the world class fighter like Terrence Bud Crawford. It's another thing to take a beating the way Earl Spence did. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, for at least I give Earl Spence the first round, so about 8 rounds after that, I mean, he was taking punishment. He got knocked down in the second round. Let's be honest. He got knocked down in the second round. And those are facts. And I'm just stating facts right now. That's all I'm doing. You know. I'm just stating facts right now. You know. Hold tight real quick, you guys. I gotta start this. Hold on real quick.
All right, I'm back. So yeah, man, I just think right now, man, Earl Spence Jr. We really got to see what's left of him, man. And I mean that with the utmost respect. I'm not trying to take anything from him. I'm not trying to bash him. I'm not trying to bash him or take anything away from him, but enough is enough, man. You know, some people say that Earl Spence should retire. I'm not saying that. I'm not gonna go that far. But some people out there are saying that Earl Spence need to retire. Facts. You know, facts. You know, they don't want to see Earl Spence take another beating like that, man. Honestly, man, he took a freaking beating, bro. You know, that's just a fact. That's just a fact. And it's like, who wants to keep seeing a guy that we thought, which I'm gonna be honest, I picked Terence Crawford to win. Um, I picked him to win. That's just a fact. I picked him to win, but I knew it wasn't gonna be easy, and I damn sure didn't think he was gonna knock Earl Spence out. I thought it was just gonna be a back and forth battle, but I just think that Crawford was gonna catch Earl Spence a lot more, which he did. Um, which he did, but I just felt like, I don't know, man. I just feel like, Earl Spence at this point in his career, man, he's gotta think about what's best for him in his career. You know? What's best for him in his career. Because right now, I'm gonna be honest, man, maybe the Keith Thurman versus Terence Crawford fight is more competitive. Just because Keith Thurman did have legs and he was able to, move around the ring. We've always known Keith Thurman to move around the ring no matter who he's in the ring with, whether it's Sean Porter, Manny Pacquiao, you know, and I mean we've known Mario Barrios. We've known Keith Thurman to move around the ring. That's a fact. So we've known him to move around the ring. You know, But we've also known Terence Crawford to cut off the ring. So it's gonna be a tough fight, man. It's gonna be a tough fight for sure. Um, Terence Crawford, I know wants to make, another big payday. I know he doesn't want to go down to, those single million digits, those, $3-4 million, paydays after you just came off of probably a career high multi-million dollar fight with Earl Spence. Um, I'm pretty sure that Earl Spence, and Terence Crawford, made over $20 million a piece. I'm almost willing to bet that. That's just it. That's the type of fight it was, man. It was on that magnitude, and it was that good. You know. And I mean, if you're a real boxing fan, why not see it again? But at the same time, if you're a real, true boxing fan and you actually care about the fighters and the fighters' well-being, do you want to see it again? Because you're gonna have those fans out there was like, man, that was enough. I don't want to see any more of that shit. Then you got fans out there was like, nah, fuck that. Get it in blood. Fucking go back and what I mean, rematch his ass. You know what I'm saying? You got two different type of fans. To be honest. You got fans like, man, let that motherfucker go out on the shield. And then you got fans like, man, I don't want to see it again. It was a thrashing. I don't want to see it again. You know? What else is there to see? Because that's what my casual fan was saying that was at my house when we were watching the fight. Um, his name is John, and he was like, "Look, man, Earl Spence got the shit beat out of him. I don't want to see another fight. What is there to see? Pretty much is what he said. What is there to see? You know, and he's got a point. He's actually got a point there. You know, so I don't know, man. Right now, I just think that if Earl Spence can't be ready by, I say by, February, then I think that Terence Crawford is gonna probably try to start looking elsewhere. you know. But like Bomac said, y'all waited so long for me to get adjusted to this weight. We could have been got this fight done. It wouldn't have been for undisputed, but it would have been. It was probably a couple years ago when he said that when Terence Crawford first got into the division. It wouldn't have been for all the belts, but shit. At this point in time, man, listen, man. How much do those belts really mean, man? I mean, let's just be honest, man. You know, you gotta pay the sanctioning fees, all this fucking money for those belts, okay? But yeah, I mean, you do get recognition. You're a world champion and blase, blase. But when your name gets as high as, Terence Crawford and as high as Canelo Alvarez and, as high as, you know, I guess you could say Wilder, you know, Joshua, you know, you're gonna get a certain type of payday no matter what belt you got. Even if you don't have a belt, you're gonna still get a multi-million-dollar payday, even if you don't have a belt. So there's certain fighters out here, even like Gervonta Tank Davis. Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia wasn't for a strap. I believe it could have been for the WBA regular belt, but some people aren't even counting that. Those are others. There's fans out here that don't even recognize that belt. So like I said, at this point, man, I just really, really want to see what direction Terence Crawford goes. Is he gonna fight, you know, a young and upcoming guy like Jerron Boots Ennis and just say fuck it, give him a shot? Is he gonna fight a seasoned vet that wants another shot at the big time and Keith one-time Thurman? Or you guys and females, is he gonna fight, you know, a guy like the winner of Jamel Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez? Could you guys imagine a Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Bud Crawford fight? Oh man, that's awesome, dude. That's a legendary fight, bro. I know Canelo Alvarez will have all the advantages and weight, size, power. All of those advantages go to Canelo. We know that. We know that, but we also know that Canelo Alvarez started as a 147 pounder. So how much naturally bigger are you than Terence Crawford? I mean, yeah, you are probably way bigger than him now, but you started out at 147. Terence Crawford started at 135. Facts. I mean, that's just out the Corey Lee boxing vote. That's just, we don't even need to look that up. That's just a fact. So when you guys understand the magnitude of this Charlo versus Canelo fight, there's a lot riding on this, man. There's at least 3 to 4 boxers that I can you got Tim Zoo for sure waiting on the outcome because he wants the fucking shot at the belt if they're not already going to give him the belt. You know, for Charlo not fighting Tim. You got Tim waiting in the wings. Okay, at 154. Okay. Then you got Caleb Plant wanting to rematch with Canelo. David Benavidez wanted his final shot at Canelo Alvarez. Those are three or four right there. I mean, you guys got to understand, man. People are lining up to fight Canelo Alvarez. They know it's a big payday. You got the other twin, Jamal Charlo. Duh. Now you got the other twin, Jamal Charlo. So you got all of these fighters in one. Waiting on one guy or two guys, excuse me. And I don't know. It's just like right now, man. And not only I'm not even naming the mandatories of both of these guys because they are tricky. He could possibly have 3 belts. He could possibly have. Go ahead, bro. Damn, man, these people can't drive, bro. But yeah, man. He could have 2 belts. You know, right now, Charlo versus Canelo Alvarez, I truly feel like it's for undisputed. Both guys were undisputed going into this fight. It'll be effed up if they take the freaking WBO belt away from Jamal Charlo. Um, you know, after before they fight. Um, I would love to see if Charlo can make history. You know, I don't think he can make history, but it'll be fun. It'll be really fun to watch. If he can make history. Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not saying that he can't. I'm not trying to, say anything that he can't, like he can't, because he can. He could possibly make history. You know, Jamel Charlo is not that small where he can't make an impact in this fight. He can. He's big enough to win this fight. Pause. But he's just, I don't know. I just feel like he's that type of guy where he could maneuver himself to win this fight. With being slick, being on the back foot. Coming in and out. And the reason why I'm talking about this Canelo fight is because let's be honest, Terence Bud Crawford said he would love to fight the winner of Canelo Alvarez versus Charlo. You know, so I'm gonna be honest, man. A Canelo versus Terence Crawford fight is Terence Crawford biting a little bit off more than he can chew in that personal. I mean, in that specific situation. You know, is he biting off more than he can chew? Because the more I think about it, you guys, Canelo Alvarez is a very, very dangerous guy, especially to those smaller fighters. Not saying that, Crawford is, an Amir Khan. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, you know, that he's, all of these other different guys. I just know right now, I know that Jamel Charlo is and and can win this fight. He is a champion. After he win, lose or draw, he'll still be a champion. Okay, because this fight is at 168, and we all know that Charlo is testing himself for greatness, which a lot of more other fighters should do. But we all know that all of these fighters are not gonna do what they. A lot of these fighters out here, you guys, in this day and time, you know, they're not fighting the top guys. They just aren't. They really just aren't. If we had every champion from every different weight class fight every single champion, we'll have one champion in like 3 fights. You know, 3 fights, y'all. It'd be nationwide. It'd be worldwide. You know, worldwide champion fight champion. For the next 2 years, and then we'll have one champion. Because each fight takes about 5 to 6 months to make, depending on shit. Sometimes even longer than that, especially if it was a special, especially if it was a especially if it was a tight, a real bloody fight, and both guys were leaking and shit like that. But I don't know, man. Right now, man, I think boxing and the sport, especially at 147 pounds, I feel like it's still, um, it, yes, it's there's one champion in Terence Buck Crawford. He has all of the belts, but I feel like there's still guys out here that can challenge him. Keith Thurman being one of them, and Jerron Boots Ennis for sure being another one. Those are just right off the top. And some would say that, Earl Spence Jr. still has a say in the 147-pound division. Well, excuse me, just against Terence Crawford, I guess, because at the 147 pounds, that fight is not going to happen in the rematch at 147 pounds. I think that fight will happen uh, at 154 pounds. So, yep, that's the way it's going to go, man. You know, I want to see Terence Crawford fight the winner of Charlo versus Canelo. I mean, what would they fight at, though, you guys? Would Canelo go Alvarez come down to 160? Solid. Solid is a fucking axe. Solid, dude. Just, you know, already ripped to the gills. Canelo Alvarez. A month out of his fight with Charlo. I'm telling you now, man, Charlo better come with his fucking A game, man. Ain't no time for no bullshit on this one. We don't want to see one of them fucking Charlo versus Tony Harrison one performances or Castano versus Charlo one performances. We want to see Charlo versus Harrison two performances and Charlo versus Castano two performances. If he can do something like that against Canelo Alvarez, oh my goodness. Shit. Then that Charlo, just imagine, you guys. Just think about it. These are just, thoughts in your head. It's fucking midnight. And what else are you doing? So just listen to this. So right now, the more I think about it, if Charlo can beat Canelo Alvarez, okay, you guys, if Charlo can beat Canelo Alvarez, Charlo can beat Canelo Alvarez, okay? How big would that Crawford versus Charlo fight be? Crawford just coming off the biggest fight of his life and the most career defining fight of his life, okay? Beating, okay, an undefeated champion, unified champion, and Earl Spence Jr., okay? And then right pretty much back to back, Charlo beating Canelo Alvarez if he can do that. If he can do that. I just think, man, that's an awesome move, bro. I just think that that's an awesome move, yo. I think that that's an awesome move. I really do. You know, I think that that's an awesome move. Um, but that's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough to do. That's gonna be tough to do against, you know. against a fighter like that, man. Canelo Alvarez is not gonna be an easy cakewalk for any guy. Um, I really hope Charlo is training. This is gonna be the hardest training camp of his fucking career. Excuse me, of his career. This has got to be the hardest training camp of his career because he's got to lay it all on the line, man. I know a lot of people are counting Charlo out of this fight, man, and I just really hope, and because I really want to see a good fight. I don't want to see Canelo Alvarez just run through this dude Charlo. I want to see Charlo put up a fight. I want to see Charlo actually say and do what he's been saying he's gonna do. If he ever were to fight Canelo Alvarez, he feels like he has what it takes to beat Canelo Alvarez. So we're gonna be feeling out the ass whooping as well. Just the weight advantage alone, Charlo's in an uphill battle. You know, but you know, I really truly think that I just think that Charlo is a good fighter, but he's got to be able to really, you know, uh, be that guy, man. He's got to be that guy. He's got to be that guy that he's. I don't. I feel like this has got to be a career defining performance, and almost you know, not only a career defining performance, but you know, the best he's ever looked in his career is pretty much what I'm trying to say. I think Charlo has to bring that out. And I don't think Canelo Alvarez has to bring that out. I don't think the best of Canelo Alvarez, you know, I don't feel like Canelo has to be at his best to beat Charlo, but I feel like Charlo has to be at his best to beat Canelo Alvarez. So there's a little difference, you know. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. I gotta head out, man. I definitely gotta head out for sure. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Please, whatever you guys do, smash that like button and subscribe. And yeah, man, you guys know this is Corey the Boxing Baby. You guys know that already. I'm not telling you something you don't know. So smash that like button, subscribe. If you want to donate to the Cash App, bro,